proper.
All right, up next we have Dr. Lisa Carnell from our newest division in the Science Mission Directorate, the Biological and Physical Sciences Division.
Okay, can everybody hear me? Great. I am Lisa Carnell, the new director for the Biological and Physical Sciences Division. We joined SMD in 2020 and are very excited to be part of this new organization. I'm so excited to be at AGU. This is the first time that BPS has participated in AGU. I'm really looking forward to connecting with the rest of the SMD community here and seeing where we can expand our connections with the broader community. So a little bit about who is BPS for many of you who don't know us. So BPS, we use that spaceflight environment to study both biological and physical systems. So what does that mean? Predominantly, we do our research up on the International Space Station, 250 miles above us there, and we have a really diverse portfolio. So for those of you thinking biology, we span algae, fungus, microbes, plants, just to say a few, tissue chips, rodents, and our physical sciences cover combustion, fluids, materials, and even quantum. So we use this environment to uncover phenomena that you can't see on the ground, that we learn a lot about the function in that spaceflight environment. And this helps to lead to scientific advances and technological achievements that help further NASA's goals and goals for the nation itself. So the mission of BPS is to pioneer scientific discovery. We build on that fundamental research and then move that forward. We enable exploration. So we develop some of those critical insights that are needed for making sure that all of our future exploration goals are safe and that we achieve mission success. And we contribute to life on Earth. So much of the research that we're doing not only benefits NASA and the NASA mission, but is translated to benefit NASA and the humans right here on Earth. So I was really excited to be able to share with you some of these cool scientific firsts that we've had over the past year. It's pretty incredible. We launched experiments on Artemis 1. We had 4 biological experiments that actually went on Artemis 1. They rode in the Orion capsule, yes, with the crew inside, and they traversed the Van Allen belt. So for you heliophysics folks and radiation people out there, that's a big deal. So we moved through the traversed the Van Allen belt, orbited the moon, and returned home. And they're currently analyzing those experiments right now, and we should publish those in 2024. So those experiments allowed us to explore the effect of deep space radiation that we can't mimic on the ground. We can't get that same environment up on the space station because we're protected by the Earth's magnetosphere. And so we were able to take a look at both algae, yeast, and fungus, and the effect of the DNA mechanisms and repair that's happening in this radiation environment. And we were also able to take a look at what happens to seeds. Does it affect their nutritional value going through that radiation environment? So it's pretty cool. We're looking forward to those results coming out this year. Another first that we had, many of you here, maybe planetary folks, would be interested. We actually grew seeds and plants in real lunar soil. That's right, we had soil that came from Artemis. You see where my mind's going into the future. We had soil that came from Apollo 11, Apollo 12, and Apollo 17. And the scientists grew seeds in that soil. That soil repelled the water, and it did not grow as robustly as a control and a simulant. So that was pretty informative. So what do you think happened? Do you think it grew? It grew. Those seeds literally started to show growth within 2 days. They sprouted. So we were able to demonstrate, yes, you can grow plants in lunar soil. But what I thought was really informative and really beneficial for NASA is that not only did they grow these plants in the lunar soil, but 2 of the locations actually grew it better. So Apollo 11, the plants did not grow as robustly as they did in the Apollo 12 and 17 sites. So this can help inform NASA on the best locations for a sustainable presence in the future. So I could talk about that all day, but we have so many other areas. So we also do a lot of research in quantum. So we had the first quantum bubbles in space. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with our cold atom laboratory that's up on the International Space Station. I see somebody over here. We had the first quantum bubbles in space, and we had the first dual species Bose-Einstein condensates that were demonstrated in space using the cold atom lab, and that was rubidium and potassium. So we have had some impactful firsts this past year. So looking ahead and a lot of the different activities that we do, and as I remind you, very diverse portfolio. We do a lot in biomedical research, and Nikki kind of stole my thunder talking about the tissue chips because that one is near and dear to me. I initiated this program in the Biological and Physical Sciences Division in a partnership with our sister organization, the Human Research Program, along with multiple U.S. federal agencies, including the National Institutes of Health, Food and Drug Administration, Biomedical Advanced Research Development Authority. And this allowed us to extend the longevity of these tissue chips to beyond 6 months so that we can send them to deep space and see what happens in that radiation environment and partial gravity. So you might be asking, what are tissue chips? So tissue chips are incredibly, groundbreaking science that can be used across the medical community. They literally are made out of you. Your cells can be used to create these miniaturized human organs in a microfluidic system, and we can test countermeasures, we can test drugs, we can test effects that happen on the astronauts on deep space missions. This is going to help lead to personalized medicine for our astronauts, and it's also having a huge impact and benefits to health right here on Earth. We've also had incredible partnerships with the USDA, Department of Agriculture. So we've been able to work with them on controlled environment agriculture. They're really interested in microgreens. We've been working with them on how do we create nutritious substitutes for the crew and make it very nutrient dense for these long duration missions. We've also been working with them on how do you grow crops in austere environments. So that's exactly what we're looking for. We've had impacts on consumer products. Think early stage research that we did on the space station led to a product by Procter & Gamble called Febreze Touch. Many of you are aware of Febreze, right? We've also had technological advancements in cryofluid management. So it's a really incredible, complicated area. Our researchers have been able to refine computational fluid dynamic models so that we can do a better job of understanding and doing that transfer of the cryogenic fluids for these long duration missions. So I'm not sure how many of you are aware, but we have to do a lot of cryofluid transfer for SpaceX. So SpaceX has Starship that needs multiple launches for refueling. They're using our models to help refine that process, as well as Lockheed Martin. So as Nikki mentioned earlier too, we just received our first decadal survey as part of the Science Mission Directorate. This is our second decadal survey ever, so as you can imagine, we are heads down, dived in to come up with what we call our BHAGs. I guess I should go ahead and say it. I really am not a fan of the terminology. Big, hairy, audacious goals. Okay, nickname BHAG. So we are coming up with our BHAGs and roadmaps. We've had a couple of retreats and another coming up. You can look forward to hearing the town hall early in 2024 where we do our response to the decadal recommendations. This was an incredible decadal survey because it identified 3 main themes for BPS, and it had 11 key scientific questions, 2 major campaigns, and 25 recommendations. So it's keeping us quite busy these days. And I would be remiss to not mention, because one of my passion areas has been education and outreach. And while I don't have a slide on that, I would like to let you know that BPS has so many numerous programs that span kindergarten through 12th grade, undergraduate, graduate, postdoc, and we even have a program called STAR that helps early career learn how to get their spaceflight experiment flown. So we love our outreach, and please take a look at all of the opportunities that are available. So with that, thank you, and please follow us on X at NASA Space Sci.